Hello Stormwater Designers, welcome back to Clear Creek Solutions, hydrology educational videos. We're continuing to go over the BMPs and the construction pollution series. We're going to go over mulching and nets and blankets in this video. So BMP C121 is mulching, and mulching soils provides immediate temporary protection from erosion. Mulch also enhances plant establishment by conserving moisture, holding fertilizer, seed, and topsoil in place, and moderating soil temperatures. There are a variety of mulches that can be used. This section discusses only the most common types. So for the conditions of use, as a temporary cover measure, mulch should be used for less than 30 days on disturbed areas that require cover, at all times for seeded areas, especially during the wet season and during the hot months, during the wet season on slopes steeper than a 3-to-1 with more than 10 feet of vertical relief. Mulch may be applied at any time of the year and must be refreshed periodically. For seeded areas, mulch may be up to 100%. Cottonseed meal, fibers made of wood, recycled cellulose, hemp, or kenaf, compost, or blends of these. Tackifiers shall be plant-based such as guar or alpha plantago, or chemical-based such as polyacrylamide or polymer. Generally, mulches come in 40 to 50 pound bags. Seeds and fertilizers are added at a time of application. Recycled cellulose may contain polychlorinated biphenyl, or PCBs. Ecology recommends that products shall be evaluated for PCBs prior to use. And then refer to BMP C126, polyacrylamide PAM, for soil erosion protection for conditions of use. PAM shall not be directly applied to water or allowed to enter any water body. Any mulch or tackifier product used shall be installed per the manufacturer's instructions. For mulch materials, application rates, and specifications, see Table 2-36 Mulch Standards and Guidelines. Consult with local supplier or the local conservation district for the recommendations. Increase the application rate until the ground is 95% covered, i.e. not visible under the mulch layer, and note the thickness may be increased for disturbed areas in or near sensitive areas or other areas highly susceptible to erosion. Where the option of compost is selected, it should be a coarse compost that meets the size gradation listed in Table 235. Size gradations of compost as mulch material when tested in accordance with test method 2.02b found in test methods for the examination of composting and compost. Then we can see the table here. Size gradations of compost as mulch material: for 3-inch sieve, it's 100%, 1 inch, 90 to 100% passing, 3/4 of an inch, 70 to 100%, and then 1/4 inch, 40 to 100% passing. Then we can see the mulch standards and guidelines here for the straw, the hydromulch, the compost, the chip site vegetation, wood-based mulch, and wood strand mulch. And you can read through the applications and guidelines there in the manual or through this table. Now, BMP C122, nets and blankets. The purpose of erosion control nets and blankets are intended to prevent erosion and hold seed and mulch in place on steep slopes and in channels so that vegetation can become well established. In addition, some nets and blankets can be used to permanently reinforce turf to protect drainage ways during high flows. Nets, or commonly called mattings, are strands of material woven into an open but high tensile strength net, for example, coconut fiber matting. Blankets are strands of material that are not tightly woven but instead form a layer of interlocking fibers typically held together by biodegradable or photodegradable netting, for example, X-Flasher or straw blankets. They generally have lower tensile strength than nets but cover the ground more completely. Coconut fiber fabrics come as both nets and blankets. Erosion control netting and blankets shall be made of natural plant fibers unaltered by synthetic materials. Erosion control nets and blankets should be used to aid permanent vegetation stabilization of slopes 2-to-1 or greater and with more than 10 feet of vertical relief. For drainage ditches and swales, which is highly recommended, the application of appropriate netting or blanket to drainage ditches and swales can protect bare soil from channelized runoff while vegetation is established. Nets and blankets also can capture a great deal of sediment due to their open porous structure. Nets and blankets can be used to permanently stabilize channels and may provide a cost-effective, environmentally preferable alternative to riprap. And some of the disadvantages of the nets and blankets include some surface preparation is required on slopes steeper than 2.5 to 1. Net and blankets installers may need to be roped and harnessed for safety. They cost at least $4 to $6 grand per acre installed. And then some of the advantages include installation without mobilizing special equipment, installation by anyone with minimal training, installation in stages or phases as the project progresses. They can hand place seed and fertilizer as they progress down the slope, and you can install it in any weather. There are numerous types of nets and blankets that can be designed with various parameters in mind. These parameters include fiber blend, mesh strength, longevity, biodegradability, cost, and availability. An alternative to nets and blankets in some limited conditions is BMP-C 202, which we'll go over, riprap channel lining. Ensuring that BMP-C 202 riprap channel lining is appropriate before using it as a substitute for nets and blankets. Then you can see the diagrams here for channel installation and slope installation for the nets and blankets. So that's BMP-C 122, nets and blankets, and mulch, and we'll see you guys in the next video.